Did you get a towel?
No.
Okay.
Actually, no. And when I got out of the shower, my wood floor slipped. Whoa. And then I was like, what the heck, what was that? And looked over, and she was, and I was like, oh no, Brandy, stay with me. And that's when I called. I smelled, I don't know what I smelled. I wasn't trying. I smelled her in the coffee pot. I smelled the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't paying too much detail to what I smelled. What I heard was just pop, pop.
And you thought it was balloons?
I thought the first pop, yes.
Okay.
I thought it was a balloon.
Describe to me what her body looked like.
Her body, man, I don't even want to go into this detail because it was horrible. Her body was right here between the bed and my dresser. And it was back, but in a way that it was back like almost in the corner. And her eyes were open, and I said, hey, and she was non-responsive. Then I seen her eyes roll back, and then I called my mom immediately. I mean, that's just from really quick viewing.
Did she say anything to you?
Nothing. I tried to say, Brandy, 911's coming, and that's it, which is the most horrible sound you can ever hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope nobody has to hear that ever.
I think we both heard it. It's definitely not.
Man.
It's definitely not anything you want to hear.
Absolutely
But
not.
when it's your significant other, it's probably a little bit different.
Absolutely, man.
So you didn't see anything else wrong with her, and she didn't speak to you at all?
Nope, non-responsive.
Okay. Can you tell me in as much detail as you can, in your mind, what you think really happened?
In my mind, what I think happened, from where she was and the way she was, is maybe she was trying to make our bed, and she grabbed him, and when she grabbed him, one went off, and she dropped the other, or them both. I have no idea. But it was just, you don't think you're gonna get out of the damn shower and see this.
No.
Immediately when I seen her down, I know that she had accidentally let off a round. And that's what I think happened. Of course, I don't know because I wasn't there for sure. But that's what I would think would happen. Why she'd be moving them makes sense. Why she did move them, I have no idea. Only she knows that. And that's the only thing that I can think of.
How familiar with guns is she?
She's newer
Okay.
to it. We've only went 4 or 5 times over to that range.
How familiar with guns are you?
Very.
Very familiar.
Yeah. I went through
So-
classes. I used to be a armed security, stuff like that back in my past.
Where did you work for that?
What was it? Security concepts.
Okay. So in your extensive gun career,
I don't know about extensive, but.
well, I mean, you're more familiar than she is. How often does it happen that somebody accidentally shoots themselves twice?
I don't know if she was shot once or twice. I don't know.
Well, you said it went off twice.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. If she dropped the other one, it happens.
Sure.
I've never heard of it being like that unless you drop it.
Right. Heard of it being like what? I'm sorry.
Like a misfire or whatever you call them, unless you drop it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only way, unless you pull the trigger again. I mean, that's just common sense. that's about it. I mean, that's the only possible ways it could happen.
Okay. And there definitely was nobody else in the home, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Me, Ryland, and her. That's it.
In the crime scene investigative report, it was noted that of the 2 guns on the ground, only one of the guns had bullets in the chamber, but both of them had a loaded magazine. This means that only one of the guns was fired. In other words, Keith's story about her dropping a gun and it misfiring isn't checking out. Soon, law enforcement isn't going to be shy about pointing that out.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you think is important for our investigation?
As far as
As far as anything, as far as getting justice for your wife?
better gun control schools. Better gun control schools, readily available.
What in the world does that have to do with this?
What? No, because if she knew better gun control, you know, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Okay. And you said you don't know where her injuries were, correct?
No.
But at one point you said her hand was over them.
No, I said her hand was to her side like this, I believe.
Okay. And you saw 2 spots, 2 blood spots?
Yeah, but very,
somewhere?
very, very little.
And was that on her clothes or on her body?
Her clothes.
Okay. And was the person on the phone, the dispatcher, telling you to do anything for her? Or
Hold pressure on wherever you see, and I was even telling them, you can listen to it, as I don't see anything. I
Okay.
don't see anything.
So let me ask you this question. What makes you think she was shot?
That's a good question. The pops,
Okay.
the 3 guns laying there.
Okay.
Besides that, I mean, one is to assume.
Okay. So you don't know for sure
Mm-mm.
that she was shot.
No.
Okay. Is there anything else in your house that would make a sound like that?